Today I want to talk to you about Manuel Ugarte. Signed him on the 30th of August as our primary midfield target for the summer window. Expectations, as they always are at Manchester United, completely sky high. We're seen as a massively key addition to bolster that midfield, to stop the kind of basketball sort of football like we did see last year, that we actually haven't seen this year, and it isn't because of Ugarte. Now, 2 months into the season, how's he actually doing? Has he matched anything like the expectations that we had of him? Well, let's look at the numbers, because they're not good, brother. Now, he's made 6 appearances for United so far, and out of a possible 540 minutes, he's only played 258, just under half of the available game time. However, in the Premier League, the bread and butter, the part that matters the most, he's only played 106 minutes across 4 appearances, 360 possible minutes. Now, have we been too cautious in bedding him in? Because Mazraoui didn't get that sort of treatment, did he? Mazraoui was like, oh, yeah, have you got your kit? Yeah, you're starting. Good luck. See you in a bit. Xerxes not far behind, actually. Is this Ten Hag being calculated, or is this Ten Hag being reluctant to play someone that, rumour has it, was more of an Ineos target? You know, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think we should be seeing more of him? Is this a smart way to integrate somebody into the team? Or is this, I don't really want him? Now, we always knew he wasn't coming in as genuine world-class ball player. His strength has always been in the breaking up of play and aggressive counter-pressing. And it hasn't always been smooth sailing. Now, you take the FC20 game, for example. He struggled in possession a little bit. His passing wasn't sharp. And actually, even the things that you think he would be excellent at, his positioning was a little bit off. And it highlighted some of the areas where he's probably still adapting to United's system. But to be fair, Ugarte isn't and hasn't been a bad player for us. We knew there was going to be an adjustment period, especially coming from PSG, where you're going to dominate the ball. You're going to have just a different team around you, an expectation around you, and an ability within the league. You know, there's not the easy games in the Premier League that you will get at times in France. But that being said, there's been moments where he's been a little underwhelming given the expectation. So I got a question for you lot. Has Ugarte lived up to the expectation we had for him? Are we seeing growing pains? Or are we just plain and simple not seeing him enough to make any kind of judgment? Now, there's more to this than meets the eye. The surrounding environment at Manchester United at the moment, I would call suboptimal. And that's me being kind. So before we start blaming Ugarte for not adapting to the system, it's not entirely on him. Take a step back, look at the big picture. United as a whole have been inconsistent to shite this season. We've had injuries, we've had tactical shifts. There's not really been a consistent positive run of either form or results. So is it fair to expect someone to come into the engine room, probably one of the hardest positions on the pitch to play, and instantly transform a dysfunctional midfield when the entire side around him is still struggling and trying to figure things out? It's difficult to come in and thrive as a new player when the squad is in complete and utter disarray. And let's not forget, he's probably on some level playing second fiddle to Casemiro, probably the main man in that position. And at the start of the season, being behind Casemiro would have been gutting, but actually Casemiro, once he's warmed up a little bit, looks pretty good. He's not necessarily, he's not behind a donkey of a player. He's behind Casemiro. He's going to get the opportunity to learn, to adjust, and actually takes the pressure off when you've got a couple of players doing that. Now, obviously, Casemiro's form's been inconsistent as well. So someone's got to step up, and I like having competition within the squad. I think that's a good thing. Do we need Ugarte to be that guy this week? Do we need him to be the guy next week? Or have we bought someone for a 4, 5, 6 year contract that give him a few months and see what happens with him? Ultimately, this is about fit and timing. And if you think about the fit of him, Ugarte as an aggressive counter-presser when you have a player like that, you need to have a system around him that is structured in terms of the counter press and actually knows how to retain the ball when he wins it. Because his job is to get the ball, give it to somebody else, and then resort back to his position, almost like resting, wait until he's used again. This isn't someone that's going to get on the ball, have 90 passes a game, and keep you in possession by really, really intelligent football play like that. He's a guy that you sign to fix the problem that we had last season. The problem he's got is the problem that we had last season is no longer the problem we've got. We've brought more personnel in that can facilitate more control in games. So the requirement for, oh my God, just get someone in there that's going to fix this isn't quite as strong. What United need to do now is to facilitate chance creation, because we're actually limiting the opposition to a decent number of shots against us compared to last season. We've not quite got the basics right. We're playing quite solid defensive football, but it's not moving into the final third fluidly. We're not taking or creating anywhere near enough chances. So when you think about the problem that the team has got at the moment, it isn't an Ugarte-shaped jigsaw piece that's actually missing. There will come a time and a place, and I'm thinking like City away, Anfield away. These are the times where you go, I don't know what today looks like, just put him in and we'll figure out the rest. For me, he's shown moments what he can do. That aggressive ability to win the ball back is something that we absolutely need, and I can see him being a bit of a cult hero at the club, probably by putting in like a man-of-the-match performance against the likes of City or against the likes of Liverpool, where that sort of impact is going to be successful and very noticed. Playing the likes of Fulham, Brentford, it's not the sort of thing that you need. Now, there's some interesting fixtures coming up. Fenerbahce away. Is that the sort of game to throw him in? What about West Ham? Leicester in the Cup. Maybe that's an opportunity for him to come into what I would hope is a bit of a rotated side. And again, lots of questions here. I'll ask you a lot. Is Ugarte being used fairly in the squad? Or have we been a little bit too hesitant with his development? Or a little bit like Ten Hag alluded to with that interview going over last season, is he trying to focus on plan A? Is he ready to take in a bigger role, a different role? Let me know in the comments. Thank you again for watching and listening to me waffle on. If you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe. And otherwise, I will see you lot in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.